I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Oh boy, 2 L's, 1 pod. This is podcast number 248, and we have a special guest who's actually been on our podcast more than Alec Baldwin has been on SNL. I think that's a record, if that's, I don't know, a good analogy there.
Where's my jacket?
Yeah, we should have had a jacket prepared for her.
We'll get a straight jacket for her. Here's the deal.
Right.
I'm Al Ducharme. That is Al Romas to one side of me. And below us is Helen Keaney. Hi, Helen.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be back again for,
yes.
I think it's a three-peat.
I think this is the three-peat, and we're excited. We have the woman who, I was looking at your bio. I didn't know any of this. You played Diane in the cult classic Plutonium Baby, and also the voice of Nikki in what is it? Pandemonium.
Yeah. And you know who was a writer on that? Was Dana Gould.
Dana Gould.
What's that?
Yeah.
Dana Gould.
Dana Gould was a writer on that.
I have Boston roots with Dana back in the day. Mm-hmm.
Extremely funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? How do you get in a movie with Greg Proops written? And
it wasn't
by
a movie.
Dana Gould?
It was a video game, and they actually kind of drew the character like after, and what I look like. And actually, there's some people that actually care about that video games and such from the day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I personally am not into video games, but yes, that is a thing that I did many years ago. I think it's because I was with Omnipop, and then there was other people that were at Omnipop on the project, and way back when.
Well, I did a few of those.
Omnipop was great. They got you Pandemonium, and then I was probably at the Ground Round that Friday night for $50. So they were pretty good. They were good agency. You know, they were.
You know what? They did,
get
Al?
you those.
They introduced us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where you and I had our first working comic relationship date. To what movie? Trivia question.
5 seconds.
What movie did we see?
The Cable Guy. Cable Guy.
No. Close. Same actor.
It was
Broderick?
Huh? Oh, Ace Ventura.
Oh.
Ace Ventura. God, that was early. Ace Ventura. We went to see that. Alrighty then.
That is a true story.
He's frozen, and that's going to happen because he's at sea on that rust bucket. But yes, Ace Ventura, I'm sorry. The opening scene in Ace Ventura howled. Were you guys high when you watched it? Were you in the theater?
We were not high.
We were high on chocolate because we also were in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Well, you should watch it. You should watch it again.
It was a John Yoder gig, I think. Was it a John Yoder gig?
Probably. I think Harrisburg sounds like Yoder. I would love to know who we worked with. That would be a great question because it's a 3-act show. There was another comic on that show. Now imagine that, but we have no idea. We have no idea.
I don't even know if I was featuring. I could have been the MC because it was long. It was in the 90s.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't remember
for sure
that
you were
either.
Headlining.
I'm not even positive of that, to be honest. I think I was, but it's possible it could have. No.
I'm going to guess and say the middle act was hanging out with the MC, and the headliner was on drugs and didn't want to hang out with you guys and didn't get up till 3 p.m.
I think the headliner had a boombox.
John Bazaar.
No, it was the other guy with the boombox who came out in a diaper and yelled El Nino.
Oh, Angel Salazar.
Wow, there were 3 boombox acts out there.
3 boombox guys, yes. Yeah, Bizarre.
Can you imagine them working together?
I didn't narrow it down, the boombox.
Oh, my God.
Imagine that if they got booked together. Dude, you can't use your boombox. I used the boombox.
Yeah. Who would you go see? You got to pay for a ticket. You got to go see one of those 3, Basil, Angel, or John Bazaar.
John Bazaar, no question.
100%.
100%, no question. His fascinating Facebook posts make me really think. Yeah, I really actually enjoy John.
He's a good writer. He's a very good writer. Very Hunter Thompson-y kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of noiry, dark shit. Very good, enjoyable.
I just whacked my elbow on the corner of my desk, and I'm in agony.
I thought you were
now.
doing one of your characters. You do.
I thought that's what. Yeah, I thought it was some John Bazaar impression or something. So if you're not on the Patreon,
it was like some
if you're not on
Family Guy spinoff.
No, I really whacked
Pain Guy.
Yeah, if you're not on the Patreon, which you should be, you missed out. Al Ducharme just got fucking hurt during our little chat here.
This is a dangerous podcast. You know,
it can be. It
can be. Guys, I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
So in March, I'm doing for the very first time a cruise for Holland America.
Mm-hmm.
Someone saw me in a bar gig and thought I'd be perfect for Holland America, which I'm not sure how that happened. But it was someone who I'm friendly with, who is a cruise director for Holland America, and she sent my stuff on, and and I sent like the tape of the dirtiest things I've ever said, and they were like, "You're perfect. Now don't say any of that." But
right.
Don't do your act.
Yeah, we love that. Yeah,
Holland America is a good one. That if you haven't performed yet on a cruise ship, that's a good one to start with. They
well, no, I used to work for Carnival for a couple of years, and in 2014, 15. And I have to say that I did not like some aspects, like the room you stay in and the name tag and all that. What's the rules on Holland America? Give me the scoop.
Al did it more recently than I did, but I used to do it all the time, and I enjoyed it. But go ahead, Al, tell her.
Well, I don't know if are they still doing the BB King's Club adult?
Yes, I have 45 minutes in a theater, clean. And then half-hour BB King, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know. When I did it, it was only adult. That's why I did it. I did the adult comedy shows. That's all I had to do. And it was 3 half hours, different half hours-ish, but, not really. I fucking crowd worked it up. But I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you for the honesty.
I don't know about clean on Holland. I don't know, because the audience, it was COVID time and they were old. So I will say that. They were old and they were masked up. So it was, that was a tough crowd. But the room was good cabin. Food was great. And
internet
Wi-Fi
was inexpensive.
Like $10.
Yeah.
$10 or something, 50% off booze. So, I mean, there's a lot of pluses. It might be one of those where all the pluses, then the rub is you got to do the show. You know what I mean? That's the downside. But
how clean is clean on a cruise ship? That's my question to you guys.
Don't drop the F-bomb. Don't say.
Okay. Depends.
Don't say depends.
It's not dry bar clean. But it's not dry bar kind of clean, but it's clean. It's,
Can you do sexual innuendo?
And a family show?
They didn't use the word family.
What did they use? Just clean?
They used the word clean. So I thought I just had to shower first. I wasn't sure if it meant what I say.
Innuendo depends.
What do you mean by innuendo?
Because there's a long line of
what would what would give us an example of innuendo?
All right, I'll give you a joke from the old days.
All right.
I told my ex-husband he was the worst lover that I ever had. It wasn't what I said so much that bothered him. It's the way I said it, because I hired a skywriter.
I remember that joke.
That's legit.
I haven't done that joke in 30 years.
Well, there's no innuendo there. What's the innuendo? There's no innuendo.
That he wasn't a good lover. I used the word lover, implying that I'm not a virgin. Isn't lover like a dirty word?
No.
You can't. Basically, a clean show. You can't curse, but that's completely fine.
You're not gonna say, banging, whatever. I stuck my hose in her gas tank. You can't.
Damn it.
That's innuendo.
Scratch that.
Now Helen, you've been on the road a bit. I've noticed your schedule, Instagram and things. You've been hitting the road a little bit. How's that going? Like, are you enjoying it, or is it a grind? We haven't done it. Al and I just do the ships.
I love it.
Somewhat, but you like going in the car, driving across another state and getting to some weird town and making these fucking idiots laugh. You enjoy this?
I do enjoy it. I actually did exactly what you just described in Columbus, Georgia. It's like I drove there, and it was a very kind of small town, and they had this cool music venue place. and they did comedy, I think like once a month. And you know who books it is
No, I don't.
Len with the Comedy Zone.
Oh yeah.
And the audiences were so fantastic. Like, it was really, really fun. It was really fun. And it was a one-nighter. It was on my way to Chattanooga to do a weekend at the Comedy Catch. And actually, my feature was like, booked it for me. It said, hey, I know on the way there's a club. So let's do
cool.
that. So
those are the best gigs.
Was that Gay Jeff?
Yes, that was Gay Jeff.
No. Those are the best gigs. And doing the comedy show once a month is such a special event, because you're not expecting much. So when the audience is very giving, it's a special event. It's once a month. You know, they probably do it 8 times a year.
The key to my shows is lowering your expectations.
Absolutely. And this is it's a pickup gig on a weeknight.
Yeah,
so you're like, all right. And all of a sudden, wow, the crowd was great. I made some extra coin, and I got a warm-up set in for my weekend.
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful.
I'm practicing. I'm trying to figure out how many gigs a month I can do and make a living at it again. Because I'm doing another gig, a TV gig that I have that everybody knows about. And then I do try to do a week at a club or a weekend once a month. And then the rest of the month I do is like driving distance gigs, like something where I can drive and be home that night, but only out of town once a month.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good schedule.
I'm not sure the cruise ships will do that, because last time I did cruise ships, they kept saying, can you do this week? Can you do that week? And I was like, no, I can only do once in a while.
Right.
And that seemed to turn them off.
Yes, they want you at their
if they like you, they'll offer you anything, and they want you to take it. But don't worry about that. That's an old adage. You can't say no. That's bullshit. You can say no. So don't feel like that. If they like you, you're okay. If you're one of those, we don't use you much, and then they offer you something, take it, obviously. But like Al or me, or whatever, once you're in, you can.
He's frozen. Good. Yeah. I'm tired of him.
Afraid to say no. It's like, dude, you can say no. But
I can say no. Yeah.
No, that was a great speech. You can say no. Fuck. I'm just saying it depends on who you are, what you are.
Well, Al's afraid to say no. I'm not. That's the difference.
Hey, I want to know, is there any questions for me from that Instagram story you guys did the other day? Or
hey, whose podcast is this, lady?
Yeah, wait a second. Jesus Christ. We're in the middle of an important discussion about
Just trying to move it along.
Let's go.
Listen, I got
a thing. All right. Yes, there are questions. Wow. All right. Well, I have other questions for you after this, so that's fine.
Okay.
Well, you want to
This is me being excited about questions.
Let's get a question in, and then I have a question, and then we'll go back to another question. So the first question for Helen Keaney, and if you want to ask a question or answer a question I have, it's always on Instagram on our 2Ls 1 Pod Instagram page. This is from Daniel Solario. Name sound familiar, Helen?
Nope.
Come on.
Daniel Solario as a
from
brother?
Comedy act?
Mario, Mario and Daniel? No?
She has
Do I know them?
Guys? Two funny guys?
Two funny
Las
guys
Vegas?
is the name of their act. They're brothers, and they're
comedians
out of Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Great
remember them?
act. No?
Great act. Solid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he asked the question. I assumed you knew him. That's why
no, I don't
said
know
it
him
that way. Oh, well, he's great. They were on with me about a month ago, and it was great to see them. They killed, and we had cigars. It was very good. Daniel Solario asked Helen Keaney, is it harder to make people laugh being a beautiful girl? Just saying. There you go.
I don't know. I don't know.
You've never had any
How
different.
would I know that?
Well,
can I just say something about that? I one time ran into Al Romas in an airport in a third world country, and he didn't recognize me because I wasn't wearing makeup. And he will answer now if I was actually a beautiful girl or not.
He thought you were a beggar from the streets of a third world country.
Well,
here's a buck, kid. Beat it.
Running up to me and saying, "Hey!" He backed off. He was a little afraid. He thought
he's not an international traveler.
I was frightened, and yes, I'm not international travel. And yeah, you had the hair all up and no makeup. It was, it was a little startling. So yeah, but
Yeah.
Where were you? Were you on a cruise? Were you?
I was on a cruise. I think it was Jamaica or something. I was on a cruise, coming off a cruise, and going to another cruise.
Jamaica, because I was going to the Margaritaville, rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. But
yeah,
Margaritaville, the Margaritaville bar. And one time I was there I used to go to that bar all the time, and I was having a beer, and you get off a ship, you're alone, of course, and I'm having a beer, maybe a cheeseburger in paradise, and I hear, "Hey, Romas, let's dance." I go, "What the fuck?" I look at the end of the bar, Jimmy Carroll.
Wow.
The great Jimmy Carroll had gotten off a ship, waiting on a plane. He's on the other end with a red stripe. And he's going, "Let's dance." And
Did you ask Carol what it was like to be a beautiful girl on stage?
After 9 red stripes, I did. That's the least of what I did. I took care of business. Let me tell you.
I think what he's asking maybe is what it's like to be a woman comic, but I've never been anything else, so I have no idea what it's like.
Right, no reference point. Now, can I just chime in here for a second, because I married a comic who happens to be a woman.
Yes, I believe you are.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I can't believe she hasn't popped in yet.
When she first, are you in the dwelling? Hello. When she first started out, she used to do the plain Jane, dressed down, no makeup, and she was like hitting it hard because she didn't want to be judged by all of that. Well, of course, eventually she turned that around and started tweaking it up a little bit. But that was her approach in the beginning. She goes, "I want to be taken serious for my material, and I don't want to be judged as a woman." She actually went through that whole stage and expressed herself about it. So that's why I know firsthand.
Yeah, I want to be completely judged as a woman. I want to be, I want to be so beautiful the audience can't focus.
Didn't they used to say that about women? Didn't they used to say that about women comics? Like, it's Stuart, because if they come out too pretty, then the guys look at them and the women hate them. But if they're not attractive, the men don't look at them, and the women,
I
it's
think
like
that Phyllis Diller maybe said that in the
Phyllis Diller. She was funny.
She was
very funny.
Million jokes. Oh, million jokes.
I have honestly, people say all the time, "Oh, is it harder to get booked? Is it harder?" I have found that it is not at all. And audiences are always great, and that it never has gotten in the way. Or I would even say sometimes I think it's helped me, because I've gotten some TV show where they're looking for a female co-host who's a comedian, who's funny, who's experienced on television. And, I think it's helped. I think it helps that, you know how to do your eyebrows.
Yeah. I guess he was just kind of asking in a way.
You missed it. You looked away. You looked away and you missed it.
What happened?
It's okay. She's fully clothed.
I'll go back and watch it on. I'll go back and watch it on the Patreon. You know what I mean?
I did my sexy eyebrow move.
I'll do it again. Let me see.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. All right. Let me freeze frame that. All right. So
screenshot.
No, I can watch it. You know what's crazy? I can watch it on the Patreon because
He's frozen.
Because why?
Because why? Yeah, you're sticking in the mud.
What's happened?
You froze.
You froze when
you said I can watch it on the Patreon.
No, there's some at sea. I'm on the oasis of the seas. We're heading back to Bayonne, and it's what it is. But Al's home. He's in Studio City, and Helen is in her home in I don't know where you live now, Helen. Florida, somewhere in Florida. I don't want to. We'll just put that out in Florida.
You can say Florida.
Florida, of course.
Take down my actual address. It's 6848.
I'll put it up. Hold on.
Street.
I'll put it up.
Get a Google map image on the screen if you could.
Pin me.
But what I wanted to continue with that, how did the weekend go? You drove, now you're in Tennessee, you're at this comedy club. Because it's that's what we used to do every weekend, and now I don't do it. And I'm like, there's part of me that's like, I've romanticized it, going, that'd be fun. But then the other part, I go, I know I would fucking hate it after one show. I don't want to be there. So,
you would hate it because you kind of hate everything.
Yeah.
So
he hates this podcast.
I love
He
this
hates
podcast.
everything.
That's all I have, man. This podcast is all I have.
It's grumpy.
You got a dog and a beautiful girlfriend.
I'm not grumpy.
So shut up.
I'm not grumpy. I'm not. I'm a realist. I keep it real.
Realist.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm real
I
grumpy.
will say that I enjoy it because I enjoy having a nice amount of time to do my thing. So 45 minutes. I mean, I could do guests around, open mics and bar. I like going on the road and closing the show and seeing that's a wild club. The audience is very, very chatty. And I've heard that from other comedians, not just me, but I love, the owners are super nice. This guy, Michael, who owns it, super, super nice. His daughter.
Let me interrupt for a second.
Awesome.
But in my experience, when the owner is super nice, that means the money is low. Am I right on that?
No comment.
Okay, thank you.
More than not, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, and when
I
they're
don't want to even know the owner. I don't want to even.
And when they're a
owner.
prick, they're just a prick. They're just a prick.
Right, but
you better be nice. If you're paying me low money, you better be fucking nice.
I like the great clubs
that
are just
nice. Like
there
BT
are.
at Side Splitters is very nice, and also the money.
The exception to the rule, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do gigs.
But usually,
I do gigs where they treat me like royalty. They're super nice.
And
the food is, but the pay is not, where I want. But I like doing the gig.
Do you find there's an age
to Los Angeles to do a weekend? Actually.
Pasadena.
Well, my daughter moved to LA.
Oh,
she's
moved
here.
To Florida.
We're doing the podcast with your mom now.
I thought she just moved to St. Pete.
She did, and she moved back to LA. She was not a fan of Florida. She moved, and she did not like it. So I'm going to be. She likes
LA over Florida.
Was it the hurricane? The hurricane scare her? I mean, what's going on?
Well, the minute she moved back there's a hurricane in LA, so I don't think that was it.
Oh,
I think it was Ron DeSantis who scared her, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I'll tell you what, both states, they're not perfect. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, geez, I tell you.
No, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Oh, jeez.
So
it's like I'm reading that article.
Oh,
go ahead.
In Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
JR's. Have you guys worked it? Randy Lubis.
Yes. Randy Lubis. Yes.
No.
I reached out to him and I said, I'm coming back to LA. I'd like to do a weekend. He emailed me back, and he works on cruise ships a lot too. And he said, any weekend you want, you just tell me.
Wow.
Which is the response I would like from every club owner ever.
But you know what? You know what that also means? Not to be negative.
No money.
No money. And he books just the same 5 acts over and over, and he's so thrilled someone wants to work there. But continue, please.
A lot of people do it
his wife.
to stay sharp.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I love his wife. I actually didn't ask what the money is. I never ask what the money is. I know it sounds awful.
You should start. You should start.
When you don't ask what the money is, it means it's shitty money.
No kidding.
No, I do.
Might want to ask.
Al doesn't understand. Sometimes you just need the stage time. You want to be sharp. You want to hit the ground running. You want to be able to say, I'm working a weekend.
Well, I will also say, since I was an open micer, I had somebody doing the booking and the money for me my entire career until just about 2 years ago. So I have no idea how to do that part of it. So I will admit that I have not been great at that.
Yeah. He didn't either.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? $5,000 is $5,000.
Yes. That's how much I'll be getting at JR's Comedy Club in Santa Clarita.
Well, that's
yeah, but you got to put yourself up.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I did not ask.
Oh, you really don't ask? You don't go, what's the dough? Honestly?
I think after they say I want you, and then they send me the deal, and then I'll say no. I have people message me all the time. You want to do this gig? You want to do this gig? And I have said, that's a 4-hour drive. I can't do that for that money. I've started to say no to stuff.
Al, do you get those messages? I never get. Do you want to do?
I
this
do.
gig?
I get the emails.
I don't get any.
I get texts, and I'm like,
I don't get any of it. Wow.
Once in a while they go, hey, I see you're at such and such. Do you want to do my one-nighter? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll go,
wow.
And then they'll say, you guys can do it together, me and Bernie. So then we'll add on to it. And would I do it? As a solo? No.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's on your way to some other place. And it's like you would be spending the night in a hotel out of your own pocket that night.
I'd rather
anyway.
spend the night in the hotel and watch.
Yeah, why not why not have them give you money for the hotel and give you some money?
No, I'm kidding. Of course, I do the same thing. I'm kidding.
He just pretends. It's a facade.
I'm pretending. Hey, you know, I was reading. This is a current. Just read this morning. What's your take, Helen and Al, on Jimmy Fallon? They're coming for Jimmy Fallon.
They're coming for him, man.
It's over.
All right,
taking him down.
Interject.
I just want to put this out there. Also, I think it's a conspiracy theory. I think NBC is behind it. Go ahead, please.
I think it's absolutely terrible because I did read the article in depth, and I have worked with Jimmy Fallon. He is an incredibly nice guy. I would say he's more of a people pleaser. Like he wants everyone to be happy and have a good time, kind of a person. I think that they got somebody from 3 bosses ago to say one thing and then made an article about it. I think it's awful.
Well,
yeah, I think NBC sees Greg Gutfeld crushing him, and they put this out there, and they just signed him to $80 million for 5 years, and they want out. They want to get rid of him.
This thing right here.
Yeah, but he's been doing that his whole career.
He has been, and I know that for a fact. And I just even heard a recent story before the article came out, firsthand knowledge of wow.
Right. Well, you should have told that on the podcast, buddy.
Well,
the fuck. Don't sit on.
Yeah, but you know what?
Like that.
That's like
we need that.
That's like means there's something wrong. You need help. That's not. You're a bad employer.
No, but
you need to be canceled. That's terrible.
Tim Dillon was doing jokes 3 years ago about how they have Jimmy Fallon handcuffed to the desk during the show because he's such a drunk and he can't, he's got to get out of there and he's shaking, so they handcuff him there. I mean, those things have been around.
He has
forever.
Been on air with a horrible hangover multiple times, and I can see it in his monologue.
But none of it matters.
He shows up on time. He shows up on time, and he hits the mark.
He has no
He's
ratings.
a high-functioning alcoholic, but I do
ratings.
know. Yeah.
Gutfeld is crushing him.
Mm-hmm.
He had 11 million viewers a few years ago. They have 1.3.
Right. That's...
And NBC, they want him the fuck out.
Is it an $80 million contract?
80 mil, 5 years. And I think he signed it last year. So
he's sitting on 50, 60 mil, I would think.
They got to get another middle-aged white guy ASAP to fill in. Who's available? Do you guys know any middle-aged white guys? Oh wait, there's 2 on this podcast.
Yeah, but we're locked into a contract here for 3 more years. So
we've got we can't. This is ironclad, man.
Okay.
Patreon.
I don't know where they're going to find more middle-aged white guys to be late-night talk show hosts. It's going to be
Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler's going to take over the Daily Show. So there you go. You're old. You're fine.
Chelsea Handler.
I don't have my finger.
80?
I don't have.
And what the fuck? There's no new female comics. Chelsea Handler needs another show.
Is she really taking over the Daily Show? I didn't know that.
That's the word on the street in Tampa.
On the street.
Wouldn't it be better to introduce a new person? And
right. That's what you would. Yeah.
I hate to say this because a little bit younger, just because of the audience that you're trying to pull in.
Right. And she's had a show for years, and that was years ago. I mean, I don't know.
She was smart to bail when the ratings started to go down. She went, "I'm out."
But have you seen these ratings for Greg Gutfeld's show?
Oh, he's blowing.
They're very good.
It's unbelievable.
It's
a funny show.
It is a funny show.
It's made a funny show. Jamie Lissau's a fucking headliner now. He's selling out.
Jamie Lissau, the same.
He's been around forever.
He's got a child or college. He moved to Alaska. It's just, and all of a sudden, he has a career. He's selling tickets. Yeah. And he's great. And he's quirky, funny guy.
It blew up from that. But it's amazing that show. I mean, the Tonight.
I'm sure this is a valid point. Yeah, which is kind of great. Once in a while, when you freeze, I get a chance to have a bathroom break.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. Hey, we got another question.
Wait a minute. Helen wanted to say something.
No, Helen, go ahead. You're afraid?
Well, I'm always afraid to tell like a story of a comic that I worked with years ago and talk about something that happened because they've moved on and it's 30 years later, and then I don't want to get them, who cares about my dumb story? You and I and
we do
all day else. I'm sure we have lots of stories about people that we could, my dumb story about Jimmy Fallon from 1,000 years ago. I don't think it's gonna, I don't know. I feel bad. Like I wouldn't want somebody to tell a dumb story about me from 100 years ago, because there's millions of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think he's fine at NBC. If he had the ratings, it'd be fine. No one cares, but the ratings aren't there. They want to get rid of him, and that's the first step. They're going to plant these stories, and then he's out, and they'll bring in whoever they need, whoever they think is the next who's going to do it. But I think that day is over. I think that nobody young watches the Tonight Show, so that the day of those kind of ratings, I think, are done. They watch clips on YouTube, but nobody's watching.
But everybody watch clips of everything now. Although I will say,
but there's no reason anymore to pay a guy or a girl $80 million to host a show at 11:30 that nobody's watching.
When the show isn't making enough money.
Yeah, it's just you're not getting
probably
the viewers.
A wash.
So what are they going to who are they going to replace him with? I mean, I have no idea. Whoever, but no one would have predicted Greg Gutfeld would be the the king of late night. And that's where we are now. So I don't know, but we do have a question for Helen Keaney.
We're gonna get that question, but Gutfeld is not on late night.
I can't shake this paper anymore. Huh?
What is he on? He's on Fox, right?
Late night. He's not late.
11:30. Oh, isn't it 11:30?
Oh, I'm on the West Coast. It's very early. They must repeat it.
They must repeat it, yeah,
because it's on.
He's against.
It's on
he's against the Tonight Show and Kimmel and.
All right.
He's crushing it, and man, I feel good for Jamie though, because he's been around forever and
nice guy.
And doing the club straight. He did crew. I think he did Carnival for a couple of years, and now, man, he's selling those tickets. So, all right, can we ask Helen Keaney another question, please? Thank you. All right, Helen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is It's a two-parter. It's a two-parter. And this comes from he's a Patreon member. He's a good man, Daryl Robinson. Daryl Robinson. I'm
from the beginning.
Sure if you're familiar with the name.
Yes.
Okay.
He is a longtime fan. Very, very nice fan.
And a longtime supporter of the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Very
good.
Nice.
Good man. Daryl. Part 1. Would you? No. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh boy. Part 1. C.
Who would be your dream co-star in a movie, and would you go topless for him? I think you'd go topless for the director, maybe, but I don't know why you're the co-star.
Is that the actual question?
That's part 1.
She's already got the gig. Why is she going to go topless for the co-star?
And for the co-star, why not? The director might want.
You know what I want to say is that when you only have one fan, which is Daryl Robinson, you really put up with that kind of question. So what Daryl Robinson is really asking is, can I see you topless? And the answer is, there's no universe.
Let's go to the videotape.
Well, is that what Daryl's asking, really?
Percy, Pennsylvania, 1994. Let's go.
Al's doing a bit.
My dream.
Right.
My
that
dream
might be the clip right there. We should
just
have the clip of Al doing that and no reasoning behind it. So you're not gonna. Well, what about in a movie, Helen?
Yeah,
you're in a movie.
Jennifer Aniston's my dream co-star. I think she's very funny. Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, she's really super funny. I could be her like weird friend. And yeah,
she really wants to be married and have a baby.
Jennifer Aniston.
Well, I just remember for 10 years, every time I went to Publix and bought groceries, the magazine, it would say, she really wants a baby. And I'm like, look, this broad is 50, for God's sake. Enough with the baby.
She wants the career. She wants the $400 million.
She made a decision. She made a decision.
She's a producer.
I'm living Jennifer Aniston's dream life. I've never agreed to go topless, and I have a baby.
There you go. You are the Jennifer Aniston of Florida. And part 2. Part 2. Are you ready?
She was not horrible on Horrible Bosses, by the way.
Part 2, it sort of connects and answers. He says, part 1, who would your dream co-star be in a movie, and would you go topless? Part 2, but only if it's tasteful and not gratuitous. So Daryl has some
good save, Daryl.
Yeah. Only though if it's tasteful nudity.
If it was 1993, maybe I would have.
Let's go to the videotape.
They'd have to shoot it from
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 1993. I was there.
Yeah, you saw them at their.
You want to go to the movies, Helen? No, I'm going topless.
Not topless.
Well, I didn't actually see them. Let's not say it that way. I saw
that's
you
what I
in
said,
1993.
Yeah, let's clear this
up.
That's
What I
right.
find amazing is that people. Here's one thing people can't believe, that I actually have male friends. That there's nothing else going on, and it's not like I have one. Almost all my friends are male friends that are real people that have girlfriends and wives and kids, that they're just friends. You know, one of my best friends in the world is a guy named Scott Bloom, who I don't know if you guys remember, was a comic many, many years ago. He does only corporate stuff now.
Yeah.
But he lives in LA. We've been longtime best friends. I have more male friends, I think, in the comedy than I have women friends. As a matter of fact, there was a woman who came into town recently who was a headliner that I never met, and I drove down there just to say hi and introduce myself, because if they're headlining, I'm not. I would never meet them. It was April Macy, who was incredibly sweet to me. She was
I saw you post
nice.
that. Yeah.
I don't know anything about her. I never saw her. Is she? I mean, I'm sure she's
been around for a long time. She does, headlines at very good clubs. She's got a excellent, club act. She's 100% pro. And she was very, very nice to me. And she had never met me before. I just social media kind of talked to her and respond and got, and there's a couple women like that. I'm going to make more of an effort to do that, because, I mean, there's only 5 of them. So it'll only take
not you, Bernie.
Yeah.
So, and I'll meet Bernie when I come to LA. Maybe she'll take me around and show me the ropes.
I'm sure she'll drive out.
She will, and she's a fan of yours.
Whatever club that is.
I would actually love that. I will let you know. I would love that.
You should. When are you going to be here?
When are you going to be there? Give us the dates.
I haven't picked a date yet. I haven't picked a date yet, but
might book a flight and go see it
sometime a week in April, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, in the future, we're talking
2024.
Wow.
I'm busy on the 15th. I'm working on my taxes.
Okay, that's right. I forgot about taxes. Yeah. Well, I go on the road once a month, and I've already got something booked for the other already.
And you have this week in Holland, America that's booked now.
Yes, in March.
Confirmed. Are you doing confirmed. 1 week?
Yeah, it was a lot of paperwork. It was a lot of paperwork, but I'm booked and confirmed for a week. They actually offered me 2 weeks, but I said no. I know that the first gig they offered me, I said I can't, because 2 weeks sounded like too much. Suppose I didn't like it. I didn't want to be there. Right. If I loved it, 2 weeks sounds great.
You stuck to your guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's smart. That's smart. And I think you're going to like it.
I think I will too.
And you're a pro. You're going to be out there going like, oh, they didn't like this. But then the next show, you'll know it better. And
then I won't do it again.
You'll have it down. You'll have it. I don't see any problem at all. And if I did see it, I would tell you. But I don't.
But doing 10 and 12 gigs a year on your terms, once a month,
weeks on the road, the rest
weeks on the road.
Just some guy messaged me recently and said, "Hey, do you want to do a theater for?" And he actually gave me the money. Said for X amount of money, and it was really pretty good money, and it was close by. And then I said, "Yeah, sure." And then he's like, "I think it's like one of those senior gigs in Florida is why the money is
the Villages."
Good. No, I've actually played the Villages, but this was a theater in it's near Apollo Beach. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I'm doing it. It's a 2 headliner show. 2 people do 45 minutes. And
who's the other guy? That sounds like it should be me. What are we doing? Come on.
Who's the
other guy?
I will ask who the other guy is, but the money was good. I'll text you what the money is. Am I allowed to say it on a podcast? How much the money? What I think is good money?
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
No, because I have to edit it out.
$750, which I think is
how
good
much?
local money.
$750.
Local money.
Yeah.
How far is the drive?
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll leave the house. I'll leave the house for $750.
Oh, yeah. I'm all over.
No problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what I said.
It's no Randy Lubis gig, I'll tell you that.
He asked me to do a showcase and more stuff, and I said no.
Okay.
Because he wants me to showcase to do a bunch of these things, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's too much.
I get you. Okay.
I don't get you.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know who that where that is or whatever. I wonder
You know
if
what? I'm gonna hook you up with that guy because he's got all this Florida stuff. I'm gonna hook you up with that guy.
Hey, here's my angle. I showcase, it went well, you offer me more, but the money's gotta go up a little bit. No, sorry, can't help you. A little bit. I'm representing you now, by the way.
Yes. Will you be my manager? I think that if I did them like a bunch in a row, that should be like $1,200-$1,500. But it's one I never worked for him before.
No, this is perfect.
That's close by. That seems like good money.
No,
if it's close, I mean, you're talking less than an hour, whatever, $750. That's fine. That's no problems there.
I'm gonna get you on the show.
All right. When is this? Do you know?
Can I just say that Al Romas has featured for me for less money than that during the pandemic? So he's acting like he has very high standards, but I've talked him into less.
I did. I was in a Clear Sky in a back room in front of, I don't know, 50 people, and I got paid a little bit, and I got to do some comedy during COVID.
We had fun. That was fun.
We talked about it. Yeah.
You go back. It's like the COVID thing was like starting again. Really, you were in front of little crowds in rooms in the back of a bar, and it was very like the early days. So there was some fun aspect to that, I guess.
It was really fun, and Al just did it, of course, to get his sea legs back before he went back to the high seas to do his real shows.
Yeah,
it was a pretend show for him.
Well, it was fun. I remember I never met Dan before. This guy Dan put it together. He was his booking, and he's kind of a big guy, and he has trouble walking, and then I remember going up. He hosted, and then he took like a half hour to walk away. And I remember shitting on him for a while, and then it was only one of the few times though I felt bad because you shit on people and it's fun, and the crowd was loving it. But I looked over at him, and the way he was sitting against the wall. He looked very sad. Like I felt like it was one of the times in my life where I felt like, "Oh, did I go too far with this guy?"
No,
that's what I mean. But he seems to be fine with it.
He's totally fine with it, and he's asked me for comedy advice. And my advice to him is, don't make the audience so sad after you're on stage.
Right, that's good advice.
He's a bit of a bummer.
Keep it light. Yeah, he's a little bit of a bummer.
Comedy should make people a little happy, little turn that frown upside down. Kind of
comes with the territory. That's kind of the job.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
I mean, but he took like 20 minutes to walk away, and it was just like, dude, are you fucking kidding here? Come on. And he just had a look though on his face, like a fat kid on the playground getting picked on.
You're doubling down right now. You're literally bullying him.
Well, I felt bad that he was so overweight and couldn't walk, and I'm saying I felt bad.
He's lost a lot of weight, and he's walking better now.
Oh,
Cyber bully.
Yeah,
Thank
your
God.
Cruelty spurned him to change his lifestyle.
Then I'm happy about that.
Tough love.
You got through.
I did a good thing. I'm a hero.
We're packaging a diet from Al Romas. Will Skype you and pick on you and be so cruel that you'll cry at first, but then you'll go.
He got me to quit smoking.
That's not bad. Smoking dick. I mean,
did he help you, Ducharme? Did he help you?
I've helped him.
Crack.
I've helped him. Believe me.
Oh boy.
Oh, Helen, open bar comedy. What do you think? We both did an open bar special.
Yes.
They're available at openbarcomedy.com. And what's your take on the whole? Did you enjoy it? I've seen the clips, and what's your take on the whole open bar thing?
I thought it was a great idea. I think that he's got like 500,000 followers on Facebook, and after just a couple months launching, I'm actually going to be doing a tour with them, the Women of Open Bar, riding on the coattails of Carolyn Picard's amazing success. Millions and millions and millions of views. And
I don't know if you know her, Al, Carolyn Picard. She's like the breakout star of open bar.
Yes, comedy. She is. Super nice. And the only reason I know her is I went to your taping and she was on your taping. That's when I met her.
That's right. I was shitting bricks because I'm like, I got to follow her. She's like a 70-year-old or whatever she is. She's, I don't know her age, but very funny, dirty, but a real pro. Like, I mean, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And just
you did fantastic. But I would not want to follow her. I will not be following her on the open bar tour. I'm sure I will be in front of her somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's gonna close those shows. And so when is that? How many of those shows are you doing?
Actually, in 2 weeks, I do my first one. We're going to be doing a comedy club, local comedy club. They're all on my website, helenkeaney.com. And then I got one in March 29th and 30th of 2024. There's a bunch of them kind of coming up. I think they're doing a couple in comedy clubs to prove that they can sell out, and then going to move to theaters. And I'm not, but I think it's a great idea. I think going to be doing another one, and I know you're doing another one. I don't know if the cat's out of the bag, if that's a secret, but I'm going to do a crowd work one.
Me too.
Yeah, but he's doing it in a different comedy club in Colorado.
Oh, where?
It's his hometown. It's in Colorado, and they're going to start doing specials there. So I'm going to get a weekend. I'm getting flown in to do a weekend headlining there, and then they're going to shoot it while I'm there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm at McCurdy's in December, and we're just going to do it while I'm there. But
sounds good. When in December are you doing New Year's Eve? No,
I'm doing New Year's Eve. Yeah, I'm doing the 28th, 29th, and 30th. And then I worked New Year's Eve, Visani's last year, McCurdy's before that. I'm like, I just want this year. I don't want to work. So I'll be asleep hopefully by midnight. Yeah. My goal is
they usually pay well, but
those are hard.
But the last two I did were not hard. They were fun. McCurdy's and Visani's got it. They were done by 11:40.
Perfect.
And they just did it right. No, the crowds were fun, not crazy.
So
those are older crowds.
You both done the countdown. Okay, the comedian that's going up. Yeah, you get off at 11:55. They hand out the noisemakers. We've talked about this. They hand out the noisemakers at 11:40, and the last part of your act.
Right.
Awful.
No. Yeah, last year we did Visani, but then I went back on stage to do the countdown with the host, and we had on the screen, the ball drop, and I brought Kelly up from the audience on stage, and then I realized.
And then what happened?
He
froze again, right when he's about to tell us what happened with him and Kelly on stage.
You and Kelly on stage. You guys did it on stage?
Yeah.
You did. What did you guys do on stage?
We made Sweet Love.
Okay.
See? That's not innuendo, but you can say that during a family show.
You can? Sweet Love? Right. Okay. I think I'm going to get fired.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's not dirty fucking.
No.
It's just sweet love. That's nice. Nice. That's what we did.
You did that, and then the puppy was born.
That's right. We had a cockapoo. There you go. That's good. A little good.
I think we're wrapping it up here, folks.
Helen, where are you next? What's up? What do you got? Tell us. Plug away, Helen. Plug away.
Okay. My next gig is Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven, Florida, owned by a comedian, a very fun club. Mike Lee owns the club, and it's going to be super fun. It's not. It's Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven. It's a good. I'll hook you up. Al always asks me, what about this club? I go, I'll hook you up. He goes, I don't want to do it.
I know, Mike.
Same conversation every time for 15, 20, 30 years.
I know. I never do the follow-up with.
No, I don't want to do it.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you I like the idea of it, but then when it comes to reality, I don't want to do it. But I like the idea.
He says to me, "Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I go all the way there and do that?" I'm like, because
why would I go stand
to mix it up. You're doing too much of one thing. The whole idea is to have a variety and help us spur.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. No, you're correct. I can't argue that. Correct. Continue on, Helen. Laugh Out Loud
and then the weekend after that, 22nd, 23rd, I'm at I think Snappers in Palm Harbor is the first Women of Open Bar show that we're doing. Ooh. It's Julie Scoggins, Caroline Picard, and Tennessee Janet Williams, the Tennessee Tramp.
The Tramp.
And then myself.
Oh my.
I don't know what the order is, but I'm guessing I'm going first. Just because I have no idea we're all headliners.
My suggestion would be go first and get in the car and drive home. But
if they'll let me and I get paid the same, I do get paid the same. I will 100% do that.
Yeah, if it's equal pay. Get behind the wheel.
Those are four pros. There we go. My back. Boom. Four professional comedians. Whereas a snappers type club, usually you get one at best. The other two are just, nobody.
Fillers.
But you guys, 4 real comics. So that's a great one. So that's Women of Comedy, Women of Open Bar at Snappers in Palm Harbor. What was the date on that?
Lounge in Winter Haven, Florida.
All right, bravo.
Where you will not work.
Thank you again for making your 3rd appearance on the 2 L's and 1 Pod.
Where's my jacket?
Your jacket is in the mail. FedEx.
I love my mug. I should have had my mug out here. I got a 2 Dicks mug. I love it.
Oh, we had to change the name because we kept getting kicked off of platforms.
We'll get you a new one. We're gonna soon have 2 L's, 1 Pod mugs.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I'm sorry.
We'll get
2 L's, 1 Pod.
We'll get you one. Yeah. Okay. The Dicks got in trouble.
Oh, they did.
A lot of headaches.
Okay, sorry.
So.
I still
Good seeing you, Helen.
Thanks,
Good to see you
Helen.
too. Thank you for having me.
So long, man. Have a good trip.
Iceberg, jaded. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the 2 L's, 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What? Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/the2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.